Pisces, get ready for the shock of your lifetime. Because somebody is about to openly demonstrate to you emotion. Now, you are experts at emotions. You have no problem at all dealing with emotion, but this is going to shock the shit out of you. This is definitely something that I don't think that you saw coming. Ultimately, it is not comfortable for you. This is a demonstration of emotion from somebody that you did not expect to get the emotions demonstrated from. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think immediately it's a shock thing. It's like a what the fuck thing? What do I do with this? Because ultimately, there could be a sense of like you did have emotions for this. You know what I'm saying? Like there was plenty of space in it in your life, but there was nothing for so long. There was such a long gap. And I'm telling you right now, could be like an 8-month gap. I'm saying like there is just there was a big old holdup all year. Things that were set back. And I almost feel like in some ways, all this quarantine shit, all this stuff, it cosmically created a clog, Pisces, so that ultimately there was just like, it wasn't even them and it wasn't even you. It was just this cosmic clog. Nothing was getting through. And so you pushed it away. Maybe you were angry at first. Maybe you were pissed. Maybe you were upset. Maybe you were irritated. You were extremely disappointed. There was just this sense of giving up because you had to, not because you even wanted to. But now all of a sudden it's reemerged. Like a message kind of like comes in and shocks you that you even got a response, that somebody even said anything to you, right? There's just like, all of a sudden now, but it's not all of a sudden is what I'm saying. And so there is this sense of like really not knowing, should I trust this person? Like, should I believe in them? Is this false hope? Am I getting my hopes up? Or did I get my hopes up in the past and now all of a sudden they're just going to like dash my head in it? You know what I'm saying? Or is this they're just being foxy? There's somebody that I can't really trust, like what's really going on? What's really going on, to be completely honest with you, is a cosmic clog. And it's happened a lot. It happened a lot for not just to you guys, but to basically everyone. Everybody has been in this cosmic clog. And it's just because things have been wonky and no communications haven't gotten through. And I feel like a couple months ago, I did a reading for you guys about sort of this stalled frustration, and it's not you. It's got nothing to do with you or your importance in the world or your importance to this person. It's got everything to do with just there has been this sort of like disconnect, detach, like almost like self-involvement for everybody right now, because there had to be this self-involvement for everybody right now. Ultimately, it was almost cosmically assigned. I mean, why the hell do you think quarantine happened? To like block us in, keep us home, and make us focus on the shit, like our home, our own personal shit that we usually ignore because we're so busy. We have so many distractions. We're out ignoring ourselves. This is us basically unclogging what's most important, which is right here. And then we can go and address what's ever out there. And that's what's really happening is all of a sudden this clog between the two of you has popped. It's burst. It doesn't exist anymore because there was enough time for those clogs on your side and their side to unclog. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's cosmic. It wasn't them. It wasn't you. It was the cosmos. It had to shift. But there are definitely emotions coming out, right? Some emotions that are bubbling up, maybe that you suppressed beneath the surface and you thought they were over with, because you thought that was the only place for them. They weren't going to go anywhere. But ultimately, the emotions are still here. You still absolutely do care. And now you have this generous offer in front of you. There's just this amazing breakthrough that's happened this is like a chance of a lifetime, if you will. And it's almost like, take this chance to just enjoy the fact that you still feel alive. Enjoy that the emotions are still alive. Just enjoy the truth that's bubbling up inside of you. Enjoy this moment and be inspired by it. It's almost like a life is back. A flame or a spark has reignited. Right. And maybe it does. Maybe creatively it inspires you. But for me, mostly I feel like there's almost just a spark of life inside of you again. And maybe that's what you're a little bit afraid of. It's like, I don't want to get my fucking hopes up. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. So, it is going to require it. Okay. So expect there to be discomfort, 100%. Ultimately, because in some strange, weird way, Pisces, it got really comfortable for you to be able to leave this in the past. Because ultimately, it kind of let you settle on, okay, well, I don't have to talk about it anymore. I don't have to discuss it anymore. I don't have to think about it anymore. It's almost like maybe for your own emotional security or serenity, you kind of just sort of settled on, I'm leaving this flat. I'm leaving this gone. But it's not. Now it's asking you, it's dragging you out of that place of comfort. Because it wasn't over. It was just prolonged or stalled. But it was something that you worked for. It wasn't something that you didn't want. It was something that you put effort and energy into, right? And maybe it took a lot of courage, or you put a lot of effort in, or you did step out of your comfort zone. This was an act of, I would usually never do this, but I'm going to go do this. And maybe that's what makes it so emotional, is that you did take a chance and you did put yourself out there in a way that was, not comfortable for you. And then you felt ignored. You've almost felt like violated in some way, because you made yourself vulnerable, and it seemed like, wasn't like anything bad was done to you, but it seemed like you were just ignored. It felt like everything that you put out there didn't make a difference and it didn't matter. But that is not true. It did make a difference and it did matter. It's just taken a long fucking time. And your hard work for when you stepped out of your comfort zone, for whatever you did that you decided, I'm going to take this leap of faith. I'm going to follow faith. I'm going to trust that sort of North Star of my own, challenge myself to do what's hardest for me. That is paying off. It's coming to fruition now. I know you thought it was over, but it's coming to fruition now. However, this is something that's going to now require you to look deep within, because it's almost like, well, how do I feel about this now? How does this make me feel that it's real? And that's the Achilles heel, man. I'm telling you, Pluto has been fucking with everybody's Achilles heel. Pisces, this is your Achilles heel. It's testing you. It's saying, okay, well, now you opened up wide like a book when you thought nobody was looking, or you thought nobody was watching. But now that somebody is, do you actually have the strength to engage the other side? Because ultimately there was kind of like maybe a safety net in your comfort, in getting outside of your comfort zone, in that you were being ignored. And that's what made you feel so kind of like just open up, almost like not expecting anything to come from it. But ultimately, now that something's coming from it, there's a sense of, will you return the call? Will you answer back? Okay, this is a very this is a very emotional circumstance for you. We already know that. This is like emotions bubbling up to the surface, and it's almost like you feel like you're about to explode. Like there's going to be so much to say, you might embarrass yourself, or there's just such an abundance of emotions surrounding actually getting a response or actually being successful. It's just like, okay, how do I even do it? But do you really want it? That's the test. Are you going to sort of self-sabotage by giving up when you actually have it, when it's actually realized? Because ultimately in life, nothing's actual until there's a connection on the other side. Well, now there's a connection on the other side, and it's like, all right, Do you have the strength to respond or to keep going? Your commitment is being tested when you actually matter. When you actually matter back. Bring love into the situation. It's that simple, but it's not easy. Simple and easy, not the same things. Do you love this person? Do you love them? How come it was so easy to love them when they were kind of, sort of not real? Now the door's open. Right? Do you want this? And can I say this to you? Give yourself a second. Love yourself. Don't be hard on yourself for being like, because maybe you need the moment to just be scared a little bit. This is the real challenge. This is the real test, is not hating yourself for being the lesser version of yourself. Because you're going to have to learn to love that part of you to be able to take control of it and move forward. Like, that's your real test, is to not judge yourself for second guessing yourself, to not judge yourself for being insecure or not being certain. Like, don't judge yourself. And then it'll be so much easier for you to actually like step on that plane or pick up that phone or admit, yeah, that was me, or step out into that spotlight. It'll be so much easier for you to do that when you give yourself a second to be scared, to acknowledge, holy shit, this is scary. Like I've never actually heard a response before. Like, if you've never been here before, how can you know how to react? It's not you. It's not a bad situation. There's actually nothing wrong or imbalanced here. It's just new and a little bit frightening. And isn't that just natural? A new romantic cycle begins, and this is a balanced relationship. This is the new moon in Libra. We just passed it on the 16th of this month, right? This was the challenge that came to us. It was presented around the new moon. This, okay, well, oh, what do I do now? Well, what do you do now? Because this is actually a very balanced situation. This is actually a very balanced circumstance. This is actually a very good thing. But ultimately, take a second. Take a second. Because this is coming out of the blue. All of a sudden now this is bam, in public, in your face, or you're supposed to be expected to come into the public and bam, have it in your face. Like, this is like almost like pushing you into the spotlight. Your emotions, making your emotions public. But sometimes it's easier, like I said, it's kind of easier to like shout into the dark when you don't think anybody's listening. But all of a sudden it's like if you've ever acted on a stage, which a lot of Pisceans have. I see you. It's actually kind of easier when you get onto the stage because it's so dark out in the audience and the lights are shining on you. It actually makes it easier for you to like lose yourself in the moment. But when the lights come up, or if you've ever performed outside in public in full sunlight, it's more challenging because you're just so much more aware that there are eyes on you. And it's like that. It's not like one is worse than the other. It's both very inspiring, but it can be very intimidating to have to acknowledge, holy shit, people are actually watching me. They're actually paying attention to me. And that's kind of scary, especially when it comes to personal relationships, like romantic relationships. Be like, oh my God, this person actually sees me. This person actually loves me back. Yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of that. It's like, what? Yeah, man. And this message changes everything, dude. It's like a fucking dead weight message. Just bam, comes through. Yep. Look at this. You know what the advice is? Look at yourself, accept yourself. Don't be unabashedly you. Let yourself be insecure. Let yourself be holy shit. Let yourself be, oh my God, I wish I had lost 50 pounds before I have to go on television. You know what I'm saying? Let yourself be, but ultimately find a way to accept you for you and understand that this is who deserves this. Me, the one in the mirror, the one I am right now. Not the one I want to be in the future, the perfect version of me that I imagine myself to be, not the person I was 20 years ago who was the person that I wanted this opportunity to come to. No, me, that person right there, right now. It's come to me at this time because I was the person that was supposed to have it. Not that person 20 years ago or that perfect person that I imagine in the future. Me. It was supposed to come right now. Get over yourself. Really, it's like literally being able to accept yourself by getting over yourself. Getting over your fears, getting over your arrogance, getting over your insecurities. This is the challenge to challenge you. Can you overcome that shadow self? It's yeah, Pisces, you can accept and you can incorporate, you can absorb everybody else's emotions. But when it comes to actually confronting your emotions, it's it's different for you. This is a truthful message. Maybe you finally had the power to tell somebody how you really feel, to lay it all on the line, to not worry about, to say it out loud. You could finally say it out loud. This has to do with finally being able to say it out loud, whatever it was. But it was a very emotional, it was a very personal message. Let's get into your main reading. I know this is going long. Whoa. Okay. Oh, okay. These cards are tricky right now. Tricky cards, Pisces. Interesting. The one that flipped over, we always start with those first. I do. Is, elephant spirit, learn from the past. So yeah, this is the connection. This is the bridge between what happened in the past and the future. And this is ultimately a sense of being wiser and having the opportunity today, because the truth was you weren't ready yesterday, right? It's coming to you now because now you are the version of you that you have to be to actually deal with this. And ultimately, this is a sense of confrontation, which can be very intimidating to you. But this is somebody's confronting you. Somebody's just coming out and confronting you. I mean, it could be your fucking dream agent. You know what I'm saying? But this is actually confrontation, face to face. And it is a little bit intimidating. I mean, 100%. This is a little bit intimidating. Let yourself be a little bit intimidated. Walk into the room a little bit intimidated. Show people that you're a little bit scared, to be honest with you. Be honest with people. I mean, that's what this challenge is really about. I don't want to paint a picture of somebody who has all this confidence. I'm fucking freaked out right now. Even if it's the best thing in your life, I'm nervous. Okay, well, that's because that's a part of you. Dream the world into being. This is definitely your past informing your future. So something that happened in the past has kind of inspired you to be at this point where you are right now. Something that you've created. This is inspiration. Lizard is future. He is forward thinking. He is the potential in the future. But ultimately, you see the skull in the background? In other words, you're going to have to overcome this before you can actually move on to that bright future that is ahead of you. But this is something that you have to overcome first. Clear out the clutter. Yeah, this is getting rid of all that shit that's weighing you down, getting rid of that baggage. And it's also a symbol of, why is this happening now? Because you're ready, you're growing. This is your time. This is Cancerian energy, just to allow yourself to take all that history and let it be history. It's really, as intimidating as it feels right now, Pisces, this is just an opportunity to kind of purge yourself for all that you really don't need. This is, but you have to go through this. You have to do this in order to move to the next step. But it's like a test you have to go through. Surrender now, like a moth to a flame. This is Sagittarius energy. Don't even think. Just like hold your breath and jump off the diving board. That's this energy. And you almost feel it. You can almost feel like you're being sucked in like a moth to a flame. But maybe burning is how the phoenix rises. So in order to be reborn and transformed, you have to let the past burn. You have to fly right into the sun. Damn. This is coming up for a breath of air, finally emerging, finally being able to get out of those emotions that have kind of like been so heavy. You can finally breathe again and be yourself again. This is also an opportunity emerging. It's also your emotions emerging and you being able to talk about them. This is a wonderful opportunity for you to be able to like release emotions that you needed to release. That it's almost like you have to have this purge. It's necessary for your own spirit. And this is Gemini energy. So you could probably finally, it's like you're finally communicating something that you'd held inside for a long time. Okay, let's go to tarot. Let's figure it out. I'll give you all the dirty details in the extended. That link is below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, because I'd love to have these conversations with you every week. And I make a new video for Pisces every single week. There's a ton of them already on my channel. They're timeless, so you can go watch whatever title appeals to you too. But I do hope you stay around for a little bit while longer, because I want to share with you now the spirit guide and angel messages. They always have a very unique voice, and you can tell that the angels are listening as I read the cards. And before you go to the extended, I hope you just kind of hang out here for a second to collect some of these messages. Oh boy, wisdom. Everything has a place and a purpose. To be wise is to have great love, tolerance, and compassion for all things. It's really interesting. It's so much easier to be nice be kind when you don't really have anybody to be kind to, when it's just a concept. But ultimately, there's a sense of now you actually having the strength and having the opportunity to show real compassion for yourself, right? Compassion for forgiving yourself, or maybe even deciding that this is in the past for you and you don't want it and you're just done. You're ready to move on. And that's the freedom that you need. You don't really need to talk about this any longer. You basically just need to allow yourself to be free from it. Maybe that's what this is. It's like you giving yourself the permission to just move on and not have to look back at all. That's allowed too, Pisces. That's allowed too. Think global. You are being encouraged to spread your wings. Think outside the square. You are a citizen of the world. Expand your vision. Imagine the world within your heart. Embrace it. Surround it with love. Let it be, and so it will be. Forward. This is about looking forward. Sacred source, we, your angels, are here to remind you of your magnificence. You are literally an angel in the making, a being of eternal love and light, forever one with God, Goddess, and all creation. You about to level the fuck up. You really are. I'm getting this kind of blue angel. Archangel Michael is here. I, Archangel Michael, am here by your side. I am all around you and will forever protect you. Remember this whenever you feel fearful. I love you. All is well. So even if you're scared of this confrontation or scared of just leaving it in the past, let your fear inform you and give you the courage to move forward and not be afraid anymore. It's like feel the fear to get over the fear. Trust. All will work out well. We, your angels, are here to nurture, protect, and heal you. Trust in the healing power of our love. We love you more than you will ever know. So it's almost like if you're scared of this moment or you're thinking of backing down because you don't think it'll go well, it's going to go well. It's going to go well because people are more on your side than you think. Transformation. Through the great love that holds you in its embrace, you are moment by moment transforming to ever greater light, ever greater oneness, and ever greater wisdom. This is literally the time for the butterfly to emerge. 100%. Achievement. Take a little time to reflect on what you have achieved to date. It is often easy to forget where you started from and how far you've come. Honor and be grateful for this extraordinary journey that is your life. You've already come so far. Why wouldn't this next door open for you? Let's go to tarot. The link is below. I'll see you guys over there.